Sorry, Molly, good to see you both. Welcome to Popternative.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Sorry, I'll start with you because I find it really interesting. When I found out about this movie, I was just like, what a fun, unique concept. So what's that like kind of reading the script for that specifically? Just knowing that this is very different in like the slasher kind of genre.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was just like the first time you read it, you just know, like, I don't know. This was one of those scripts, like we read a lot of, like as actors, you read a lot of scripts. This one stuck out and was just like, wow, I would love to be a part of it. It was just like so singular. The world that Matt, the writer director, has built was just so unique and distinct.
Yep.
And like how fun, like blending genres of like this horror slasher, but with this like with like a ton of comedic elements, while also being self-aware. So yeah, very hard to do, and it like read right off the page. So yeah.
It's interesting too, to kind of add to that, Molly. I mean, I was gonna ask about it's like you knew I was gonna ask that, like the genre bending component of it, right? Because it's interesting that Molly, that script to screen journey really interests me, right? Because I'm also a filmmaker as well, so kind of seeing the script and then see it come to life. What was that like, seeing the genre bending components come to life on screen after reading the script for you?
Yeah, I mean, seeing it on screen, especially like getting to see the stuff that I wasn't there on set for, was really cool. And I think I had a lot of faith in Matt from the beginning because I don't know if you've seen his first film, Uncle Peckerhead, but it's the same kind of genre bending where it's not like pure horror. The horror is kind of like campy gore, but like the movie doesn't shy away from that. And I think that like the great thing about this movie is it knows exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And the best for me is that it is funny when those like when you can have someone dying be funny.
Yes.
That's not something that's always easy for everyone to do. And I had seen Uncle Peckerhead and I was like, I think that this guy can do it. And I loved the script. I loved where this went. Just from the moment I saw the premise, I was hooked. Like,
Yeah.
what if horror films were real? That's so cool.
Yeah, it's interesting too because it's like this movie is a perfect example. What I love the most about horror films is like there's so much kind of happening right now. There's different kind of elements. I mean, it's going to be in theaters and then eventually it's going to make its way on Shudder, which is kind of the horror movie fans' playground these days. You know what I mean? Which is so exciting. So that's so well said. Sorry, I'm curious because it's all storytelling at the end of the day. You've worked on a lot of different projects where you played different characters, but also different worlds in general. How separate are past projects compared to something like Buddy Axe Wound? Like, do you bring things mindset preparation-wise from AP Bio to something like this, or are they completely separate once you wrap them?
I think you can, I mean, as an actor, I feel like you always bring your experiences and like things you've learned. Like, I think of it like as a toolbox. You kind of like take what you can and like what is helpful and bring it on to the next. So I definitely think that like, I mean, I know that AP Bio, I always say AP Bio is the gift that keeps giving because I think in a weird way, like kind of led me to this. Like Matt, our director or the writer director was actually a big fan of AP Bio. So cute.
And Eddie is in this too, right?
Yes. And oh my gosh, like it was just such a gift being able to work with Eddie again. We've always thought like, wow, if we're going to work together, we're going to have to like do it ourselves. And we also like, have our own projects that we're working on together. Yeah. But like the fact that someone else was like, no, you guys need to work together again, was such a gift. So yeah, I think that definitely like, Matt had told me he was really looking for someone who had those like comedic elements, like can also play of course, play the horror and like those elements of it, but really wanted someone who could hit those comedic beats. And so definitely brought a lot of my experience from like AP Bio to Bloody Axe Wound.
100%. And Molly, I do have to ask just the timing of everything. You do have, two kind of bloody projects, so to speak, that are around this time, and I do have to ask about Dexter Original Sin. I mean, I just kind of want to know just kind of what that kind of journey has been like for you in regards to kind of being part of such an iconic kind of franchise, but like that prequel component, but seeing kind of now the episodes are starting to come out. What's that been like for you specifically?
Yeah, I mean, it's been the ride of my life. if you told me a year ago, like we were just a year ago coming off the strike, and we were lucky to film this film right before the strike. And so that's like, this has such a special place in my heart because it felt like the last ship out of whatever the end of that metaphor is. And I like, I just like, we were aware too at the time that like, this is special. Like people are not working right now, and we are very lucky to be able to be doing this. And then I think like the strike was hard. And if you told me a year ago that now I would have my dream role of Deb Morgan and this like wonderful movie that we made together coming out at the same time, it really is like overwhelming. I've had a pretty crazy December, and I'm just, it's funny, like I was so obsessed with horror films when I was in middle school, and I never really even thought that that would be the kind of genre that I was in. But the girl is becoming a scream queen, whether she intended to or not.
Which is really, really fun. No, it's so funny as well. And yeah, and then congratulations on Original Sin, because the episodes are finally coming out, and I feel like people have just been waiting forever for those episodes to come out.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. I feel like such a proud mom. Like it's so cool, like having worked with Molly before this, and then like, you know, we're friends in real life, so I've gotten to see and like hear all about it, and so
and then it's exciting. And you know, is it both for like both of you have been in this situation before where you make this movie, you know what I mean, you rap, you create such bonds with people like on Bloody Axewound and everything, and then the life of an actor really is kind of like on to the next, right? And there is this weird kind of chance that like, you know, you keep in touch with social media with people, but like you might not kind of see these people that you worked with for a long time again. Do you think about that whole kind of journey of like you rap, then you kind of play the waiting game, something comes out? Like it's a weird surreal feeling, right? That that journey of like a movie coming out to the world.
For sure. And like it's been a second since we shot this. Like it's been like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So it is beautiful in a way because you get to sort of relive it all over again. And like with all this press and like with the movie coming out, it's been so wonderful just like reconnecting with everyone that we got to work with and like being able to celebrate everyone's work. Like everyone, the cast and the crew worked so hard and everyone was so talented. So like to be able to see the fruits of everyone's labor on screen is just the best.
And Bloody Axe. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Molly.
I was just going to say, like, going back to like the relationships that like you make with people on set, like Sari and I, we swap cities. We keep swapping cities that we're in. But like, I just felt like we had such an immediate connection. I mean, Sari literally made the Christmas gifts that I gave to my brothers last year. She made these beautiful watercolors. Like she's such a like phenomenal artist in so many ways. And I feel just very lucky that we had such a cool group of people to make this movie with.
Absolutely. No, and it's so great. I can't wait for people to see it. Bloody Axewound. So in select theaters, December 27th, right before the new year, wrapping up the year with some bloody fun. And then eventually going to be making its way on Shudder. So I can't wait for people to eventually also get to watch it on Shudder. Sorry, Molly. So great to see you both. Thank you so much for your time and all the best.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.